Welcome back, Mr. Goodberry. The First Star Logistics studio is fully equipped and ready to record.
Welcome back to Bengals On The Brain, presented by First Star Logistics. I'm your host, Joe Goodberry. This is episode 222, and maybe kind of sort of our last of the regular season. The Bengals lost that Week 18 game to the Cleveland Browns in a very, I agree with Zach Taylor, very fitting way. The Browns had about a 1.1% chance of winning this game based on the computer that crunches all this stuff. I saw a stat today, and it's just one of the most improbable wins in modern football history based on them only really putting up 6 points. And you're not supposed to have 2 defensive touchdowns in a game. The Bengals have had that happen to them far too often this year. I don't know if you can fix that. I don't know if it's just dumb luck if it keeps happening, but there's a lot of things they need to fix this offseason, and I don't even know how you would begin to try that. But the Bengals today, the Bengals and Mike Brown, I should say, put out a statement saying they have full trust in Duke Tobin and Zach Taylor to lead this franchise where it needs to go. So there's that. Duke Tobin will talk to the media Friday. Hopefully he'll answer questions. He can be very abrasive when trying to ask questions. I know. I've been there before trying to ask him, and he's good at what he does, despite never doing it. And we're in evaluation mode still, which means we do have things to watch as we try to build this roster, piece this roster from my fan perspective. I understand we actually don't have any influence on what's going on there at Paycor Stadium, but I still like going through the process. I still want to evaluate these players, and I think it's worked out in good timing. We had the Dolphins game. We watched the corners. The corners look really good. We had the Cardinals game. We watched the linebackers. They finish. Hey, Demetrius Knight 2 weeks in a row. Impact linebacker 2 weeks. We could use that. Hopefully that's signs of what's coming for 2026. Would be huge to fix this defense and go a long way. And because Week 18 was the narrative and the storylines of the Myles Garrett getting the single season sack record, pet peeve of mine, sidebar real quick, it's not the all-time sack record. The all-time is your career all-time sacks. You're not the all-time sack record. You're the single season sack record. This isn't a Myles Garrett thing. I hate when I hear this for any record that's achieved. All-time means your entire career. Anyway, back to the show here. Because that was such a big part of the game plan and the narrative for this game, it's a great time to catch up on Amarius Mims and Dylan Fairchild. Those are the 2 guys that for the next, hopefully, 10 years, hopefully we don't have, I don't even want to start with contract stuff already on those. They'll be coming up at the same time, though, because they're drafted 1 year apart, and Mims has 5 years, Fairchild has 4. Already 2 years and 1 year in each one of those. Point being, let's check how they've progressed this year. We've done a couple of check-ins on both players. I think Mims has just skyrocketed, and I can't wait to watch it and look what it looks like at the end of his sophomore season. And Fairchild had some moments of both sides here, so it'd be fun to watch him, especially with Garrett lined up on that side often, and see how they progress. Let's get our last check-in on the offensive line, especially the young guys, for 2025. I haven't watched the film yet. Let's dive in. Okay, we've got 75 plays here, so we got to go fairly quickly on Amarius Mims and Dylan Fairchild if we want to make it through the whole thing, which, from this angle, that's Mims, that's Fairchild if you haven't watched them this season, or if you're just under a rock, I guess. We'll start on every play with Mims and then go into Fairchild. Bengals starting off running this ball. Nice inside give with a RPO kind of look where Burrow can flip it out to Jamar Chase. It keeps Grant Delpit on that side. I want to point out with Mims, he has been blocking much harder here in these situations. This one, not so much. Doesn't really get a guy to move. They can't go downfield. As you see, everyone's kind of holding their spot because you could throw this over here. I think that's the thing that a lot of people don't understand. The line doesn't want to go downfield because if you throw this, they would be a legal man downfield. So they've got to kind of balance where they can go. So I'm going to go back to Dylan Fairchild now and see what he does here. He's helping out with Karras before climbing and going to get number 43 there, which he does. And you want to see that. You want to see a lineman get to the second level, so he gets points for that. I like this. I don't know. Little sidebar here. Samaje Perine, Chase Brown on the backfield together. I think that works, and I think they've got a lot of success out of that this year. I want to check actually what their success rate looks like with two running backs on the field. Jamar Chase in motion. Again, we get a little opportunity to see Mims be strong here, take on 91, really control him. I mean, 91 is losing ground. We rarely get a side view of what the power looks like from an offensive lineman, and we get it there. All right, now into Dylan Fairchild. Turns him inside to Orlando Brown. Now he's got to go up and get number 30, which he does. Now, to me, Chase Brown, I mean, that's a wide open hole here with guys with the D linemen's heads on this side, right? You have a lead blocker, though, is the thing, as Samaje Perine's going to get this guy. So I get why following him. I wonder if Perine could have led blocked with this one right up the middle if he has that ability. A lot of times with the lead blocker, you don't. You're aiming for a point. So, but, maybe that's something they can coach. I mean, you have a running back there being the fullback. No reason why Samaje Perine can't adjust there and see that you have a huge hole in the middle. All right, back on Mims. I didn't see this false start on. Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay. I don't remember if the TV showed a copy of Dalton Risner. We got quite a few false starts in this game. Bengals at home. I guess just worried about pass protecting and not letting Garrett get that. All right, Mims. I mean, we go with this. We've watched a lot of D linemen lately. So to watch him try to swipe this outside hand of Mims, get nothing. Mims land both hands, look very balanced, strong, keeps his butt at the quarterback the entire time. I mean, that's what it's supposed to look like. That looks great. All right, Fairchild inside. Garrett, that's who was in front of him. I don't know if you saw that's who it was. Garrett's going to try and dive inside here, and we got a little stunt. So let's see if Fairchild can pick up 98, which he does there. And then can we string all the way around and get a hand on Myles Garrett? Tough, but we do just enough there as the check down goes to Samaje Perine. So I'm fine with both those guys there on that one. Especially Mims. I think Mims, when Mims looks balanced, calm, and just going through his motions, I think he looks great. Like, this is what it looks like to me when you have a high-end athlete at that position. All right, next play here. Jamar's in motion again. Mims, you see how much space he's got here? He's going to come down and try and knock off Mason Graham here to give this space for the running back. Now, Graham gets absolutely thrown out of the club on this one, right? So good block for Risner, too, to finish that. You would like a little bit clearer space here for, if Mims would get out of the way to let Chase Brown hit this thing full speed while Mims is getting to 30 because that's a touchdown. So a little bit of timing there could probably make this, like, look at this thing right there. If Mims keeps going with the play and then climbs up, so if, let's say he took another step this way and then got to Devin Bush's wearing 30, I mean, Chase Brown will hit this thing. We got a touchdown. So we could finish and be a little bit cleaner there. They probably would say that to him. Like, good power on that play. But at the same time, a little bit more efficiency. You could probably turn that into a huge run. So I think this one they get him off sides. Nothing for Mims on this one, so we'll focus on Fairchild. He and Orlando Brown have Garrett. Do a good job, and he stays with him really well here. Watch Fairchild, he's not going to end up passing him off to Brown. It's funny here because Brown's eyes go inside and see 43, and he goes, I should go off and help that way. And he does, which opens up that lane for Chase Brown. So really good blocking from Fairchild and Orlando Brown. Good awareness by Orlando Brown on that one. All right, back on Mims here. We're starting to get a clearer picture on this film. He's got Mason Graham on the outside. No real challenge for him. Let's see if there's anything for Fairchild inside. Garrett again. He handles it pretty well. And T should have stayed on his feet and scored there. Bengals are going to end up scoring, I believe, right? This is the throw to Chase Brown. All right, eyes on Mims first. Jamar in motion again. I mean, just absolutely, this is good power. This is good base. This is good hand usage. His technique is getting really, really, really good for Mims. And he just moves that guy out of there very easily. Let's see what's going on with Fairchild here. He's got 93. Immediately win, right? We're winning to this side. We're torquing him inside. That's great. We'd like to see both of those things. Let's see how it finishes. Yeah, it's really, I mean, our guys here that we're focusing on do their job really well. It's really the middle here that must have lost this. Let's watch Reisner. And yeah, it was Karras on Mason Graham. I noticed this play earlier during the live watch. Mason Graham just absolutely, he's going to be a pain. And we know that. We know he's a good player. Or a good prospect. We watched him, remember, just in case. All right, Mims. Good get out there on the snap. Again, very controlling, very easy. It's hard to talk about, like, he's so good now. Mims is so good now that it's hard to really, there's no, like, narrative for me anymore to really say what he's bad at. The run blocking has gotten so much better. He plays with so much more intensity and power. And when I mean narrative, like, typically with somebody, if we're watching like Myles Murphy, we're looking for the hands to land more often. For Mims, that was a little bit. I thought balance at times. But when he's on, he looks so balanced, and those hands are so long and strong that it's not even a thing anymore. And then we got some critiques for run blocking. For Fairchild, it's really his, sometimes he opens his hips and shoulders a little bit too much and can be beat back, or just opens the gate too far and the rusher gets a path to the quarterback. Other than that, I think his hands have gotten a lot better, even though this is a very wide outside grip. But did you see that readjustment to the inside for that underneath grip? I mean, that's going to allow him to really control number 93 here. Watch it. Bang, and then underneath. And then tosses him, got enough power to toss him into Brown, and the ball's out, touchdown. Like, the hand usage for these guys, and that's supposed to be Scott Peters' specialty, I think it's worked. I think it's worked for all these guys. We have the kicks here because on the film, in fact, it was a part of the story, so maybe we should watch it. Yeah, it gets tipped. 91 got it. All right, next drive. All right, first on Mims here. We got our drive. Next drive, I want to say. Here we go. All right, checks inside. Make sure he gets the edge guy. As P. Ryan does a really good job setting this up, man. We're going to go to Fairchild next. Nothing for Fairchild. The point of attack is between he and I want to say Brown, so let's see. Oh, we got a trap block. That's what happened. We don't get to talk about this too often. All right, so eyes on right here as they're going to allow this guy to go. They're going to give him a shoulder look and then let him go on purpose. The idea here is to get this guy upfield and off balance now as we bring Reisner over to crack his ass. Honestly, that's what they say. And there he goes. Bam, got him. While you let him go, the next guys are going to go get their linebackers. I want to say here and here. I should use pink again. Here and here. And if you work it really well, you create a nice seal for it. Here it is. Bang. Bang. Everyone. Fairchild slightly misses 43, but does a good enough job, I would say. So P. Ryan doing a really good job here of seeing it, hitting it. Good execution. So Chase Brown gets all the zone runs, and P. Ryan gets all the gap runs. Like, these are, if you're wondering why sometimes P. Ryan looks better, they get different systems in their running. This is one of them. This is this is exactly where we want you to hit the hole. If you can time it right and hit it right, there you go. And that's awesome. It's awesome when that gets executed at a high level. Love a nice trap. All right, back on Mims. This time T. Higgins in motion. Mims has Mason Graham, handles him just enough there. Not much to say, does his job. Tries to get to the upfield shoulder as best as he can, but it's really, I mean, let's take a second here and watch Dalton Reisner, right? Between Karras and Reisner, Karras gets 51, throws him to Reisner. Reisner's going to wall him off perfectly. Look at this. Good fight. Good walling. I was a huge advocate for getting Dalton Reisner on this roster. He has been even better than I expected down the stretch now. All right, Dylan Fairchild. You got Garrett this time. Lock him out just long enough. Good block, Dylan Fairchild. Hey, we just got to do it long enough. It was at this point during the game where I thought Browns don't want to defend the run at all, because normally Garrett would make that a little bit more difficult. All right, eyes back on Mims. He's got so it's like a wide zone, right? And so our first read, our first point of conflict is this block here. And we see the end is on the outside, so you go to the next read now. And the next read is typically the 3-tech, which is 94 Mason Graham. So let's see how Chase Brown handles this. Graham looks like he's winning to the outside. Otherwise, if Ted Karras was getting a better block here, Reisner would have Delpit. You would have a great shot to hit this thing, other than Diabate coming over the top here. So as Chase Brown sees this and sees Mason Graham winning to the outside, right, what does he do? He's got to go to the next read here, which is Dylan Fairchild climbing up and getting Devin Bush. Just nobody ends up getting 43 in this scenario here. 43 starts outside, ends up going inside. We got the extra guy in the box. This is Pirine, by the way, not Chase Brown, excuse me. And Pirine says, okay, no one's got 43. That's the unblocked guy. That's the guy I got to handle, I guess. Let's drop the shoulder. Bang! And get 3 yards after contact. Really good run by Chase Brown. You can see his reading. That's his own run after I just got done saying that Chase Brown gets most of those. Okay. I like this formation. We got a little something different. Pirine's at fullback. Jamar Chase, should clarify, is at running back in the backfield there. And then we also, brought Orlando Brown Jr. over to the jumbo tight end next to Amarius Mims. And they really made it look like they were going to go that way, right? Like everyone's down blocking on the O-line, down blocking. Nothing really to say about our alignment here. It's just more of a scheme to get Jamar Chase open. Bad throw by Burrow. Grabbed, plucked in the air, one-handed by Jamar Chase. We got a lot of different looks and scheme stuff, and it's nice to see in Week 18. Some people would respond with, why was it taking so long to get it? I mean, I think we always get new stuff. I just think the real good stuff from Zach Taylor, when it happens, comes late in the year. This is why they're good when they get to the playoffs. We just got to get back to the playoffs. All right, eyes on Mims. He's got to get outside here, see if he can get to 30. He does. 30 does a good job. That's Devin Bush, who is a free agent, by the way. So if we're watching linebackers, I'm in on Devin Bush. We want to bring him in here. Handles Mims. You know, that contact from a guy who's much, much bigger. Remember, Bush is 5'11". Like, he's giving up a lot of space here, and he handles and stays to the outside really well against Mims there. It's in the open field, so advantage linebacker, but still, Mims made contact. All right, Fairchild, let's see if he had anything on the backside here. He's just got to stay to the inside and not let 98 get across, which he does. So, yeah, of the free agents, linebackers, I think Devin Bush is high on my list here of guys I would like. All right, eyes on Mims. With Tinsley getting inside, he and Reisner are going to take the defensive tackle. We got an RPO, flip it out to Jamar Chase because nobody was over there, if you remember it. That means we're not going to have anything for Dylan Fairchild either. Ball just comes out too quick to really make it an evaluation play for our lineman. Pirine in the backfield, eyes on Mims. 71. You play right tackle in Cincinnati, you wear 71, and you look really good. Yeah, we got a cut block here for Mims as we've got the jet motion coming across here. So as they hand it off to the jet receiver, I think that is this when Keyshawn Williams gets the play? Keyshawn Williams? Either way. Mims has to cut the D end on this side. Let's watch it. Yeah, get upfield shoulder. Get it. Nice room. Good. Run. Not much for, again, we're not going to have anything for Fairchild there because the play goes away from him so quickly. His job is simple. Eyes back on Mims. He and Reisner take on Graham. Now Reisner's going to go get 43. This should leave a nice big gap. You can already see it forming. Hey, Gesicki, you going to get a block? Between Mims and Gesicki. Let's see how that plays out. Yeah. We'll take a solid 5-yard gain from that. I want to watch Gesicki, though, and see if he actually did get a block here on. Not really. Not really. Not much. That's about what we expect. It's about what you see on film most of the time with him blocking. All right, eyes back on Mims again. I know I'm forgetting Fairchild. We'll get to it. I like when we get to see a guy have to get out first and then run the bang. And just he controls when he makes contact, man. Okay, now we get to look at Fairchild and see Fairchild versus number 93. So he must be trying to get out of the way of Chase Brown here. When I watched this TV copy, I thought Fairchild looked weird because he's kind of, you see him off balance and then opening that gate way too much, right? I've talked about this. Where's his butt facing, right? If he was facing more this way, you're not going to allow this guy to get in position to really bat this ball. But the way he actually bumps into Chase Brown, so maybe not. Yeah, you see Chase Brown kind of reverberate there a little bit. And, yeah, if you're more in control here, his hand doesn't get up, doesn't get batted. Let's watch Orlando Brown real fast. One of the few times he's getting a single block. Whew. I mean, he can't even get a hand on Myles Garrett's actual freak. I'll be honest with you. Yeah. So, how much blame do we actually put on Fairchild on that? To me, that's what you get with rookie guards. And I think we got that with Mims, where the down-to-down consistency, those are things that they probably feel real confident that he can clean up. It's not a limitation of skill, of size, of speed. It's just consistency down to down. All right, eyes on Mims. Kill the play. That must have been a run play because now his eyes, and let's watch his stance change, right? Let's go back all the way here. This to me feels like a run based on his split here. Slight lean that way. Eyes forward. Probably looking at the linebacker, and then we're going to get Burrow to kill it. Kill, kill, kill. Let's watch the feet change just a little bit, right? We definitely have a different stance this way. Kill, kill, kill. We've got a different stance this way. The eyes seem to be more out that way. So if we could clean things like this up, or the Bengals just maybe not, don't care. Like Mims is like, I don't care if he knows it's a pass play. I'm going to block this thing well anyways. But I think we'd like to remain a little bit more secretive. All right, let's watch Fairchild inside. So he gets 51 over him. Just going to slide that protection in, push it in, give Burrow the ability to come backside and make this check down to Chase Brown, who gets hit as he's trying to catch it, and the ball gets knocked away. So like these plays, I do think there's a little bit of a tell with our offensive line, and I think that's something that could be cleared up a little bit, especially when they kill plays. It's way too easy to see. All right, eyes on Mims. We'll start there. Yeah. Yeah, Drew Sample and Mims here, taking 91 out of there. Get out of there. You got a clean, open outside lane. And that's the thing with Pirine. Pirine sees it so quickly, right? Watch this. Watch Pirine's eyes. He instantly looks this way because he can see this side collapsing. And he just hits it. He's not the fastest guy, but he's outrunning people and getting a nice 8-yard gain. That's because of Mims and Sample on that side of the play. They're running a lot off Mims right now. All right, flip it around. This must be second quarter. That was a long first quarter. Eyes on Mims to start. He's got Noah Fant behind him. Mims has the easy one this time. Let's see Fairchild as we got to run inside, and he's got a linebacker right in front of him here in the A-gap. Got to get in front, hold him. We lost him a little bit there. We lost him a little. You see how the linebacker looks inside this way? So I think Fairchild ends up leaning this way because Fant is blocking this way. So he's Fairchild trying to keep him from getting inside. But Pirine does this on his own and hits the middle. Gets 3 yards. Remember, it was 2nd and 2, I want to say. So Pirine just trying to get that first down. Putting his head down and getting it. Got 3 yards. All right, eyes on Mims. He looks really good out of his kick, right? Oh, yeah. That is clean, man. He looks really good in pass protection. I am very, very happy with him right now. That's what it's supposed to look like. All right. Dylan Fairchild, left guard, helping out Karras. Could feel, I think he could see, he wanted to see what Garrett was going to do. So he wants eyes on the inside, make sure nothing's coming, get a hand on the right side there. And once he feels that Karras may need that help, he leans in, gives him that little shove, and comes back out to make sure Garrett doesn't go inside. So we do our job pretty well here. I want to watch Orlando Brown versus Garrett here. One of the few times he's getting one-on-one, although does get the chip help. That's right. So he got the chip help there. And then Noah Fant fumbles his 3rd ball. That gets returned for the touchdown for the 3rd time this year. I mean, that's ridiculous, right? I think it's absolutely crazy. Me personally. All right, eyes on Mims. Try and block that edge and get him out there. Again, the edge is got the outside path. He's outside, right? So we're going to look inside here. Can Reisner get to his guy? Can Karras control his guy? Karras can't. And that ends up being a gain of 3 yards only. It's a tough reach block. I mean, this is why you want a Tyler Linderbaum or somebody at center to eventually replace Karras. I'm not saying Linderbaum. They're not going to go spend that money. But eventually I want a very athletic guy, and I think Matt Lee can do this. He did on film. Because this is not an easy block to get out that far. The guard's going to help a little bit, but to get actually in position and get your head over there, not easy. And speaking of, let's get to Fairchild now. Now Fairchild's going to climb up, and he's going to try and take on the linebacker. And I think it's 30. Let's see. Yep. Get on the right side of him. Get on the good path. I mean, it's hard in zone, but you can't whiff like that. Good job by Devin Bush there. Eyes on 71. He's got the tight end help on his side there. We're running inside and blocking. Looks like he's going to help out Reisner and blow that guy into the inside, and he does really well. Watch 93, man. 93 is going to end up way inside. Now we're pulling over Fairchild, and we got Mims. Can Tinsley keep his positioning? Can Reisner and Sample keep theirs? Tough ask. I mean, it's just tough ask because Tinsley and Sample, I mean, Delpit, really, when you want your safety to come in and defend the run like this against Mitch Tinsley, really blow that thing up, because who was supposed to get 30? It was supposed to be Fairchild. He never gets a chance to get there because as he comes through the hole to fight through, Tinsley's getting blocked into him. So we need our guys to defend the run like Grant Delpit did on that play. That's why safety play is important, especially that box safety. Okay, 71. This was, again, for him, simple. He's trying to help inside just a little bit on Garrett. Garrett with the cross chop on Dalton. Excuse my stutter, on Dalton Reisner. That was not a glitch in the system. That was me. But once Mims gets out there, you can see him stressed a little high. That's why we don't want him to play too high, but sinks his hips really well here. Watch as that right there, but then get your hips down and replant. Good job. All right, I want to get in on Fairchild here, see what he's doing. We got a stunt. Everyone picks it up fairly well there, I would say. It's really just Garrett being Garrett. If it wasn't Garrett, the Browns wouldn't have this extreme pass rush. Like, they're the scariest pass rush we play. It's 95% Garrett. Pun very intended with his number being 95. All right, eyes on Mims. Good get off again. He is long, strong, and smooth. I mean, this is just, it looks like teach tape. It's just clinical. It's just that's why you draft big, long, athletic dudes. All right, eyes on Fairchild. Helping out with Karras. Eyes back to Garrett. Nothing there. Eyes back in to help out Karras. So lots of interiors, so much more mental help space. Whereas I think at tackle, you need to be big, you need to be athletic, you need to be long, right? Because these pass rushers are freaks. So it's just a little bit different of a position. All right, Mims. Inside, he's got to block Graham. He tried to throw Graham inside. I don't know if you saw that. He wants to use that outside hand and throw Graham inside. We're really not getting much. We're getting a lot of confusion and guys pushing, making contact with each other here. So Chase Brown sees this and is like, I've got a linebacker one-on-one. Not much for me. Can't really get there. And he takes his 1 yard. All right, eyes back on Mims. He's got the DN right over him this time, or a lot closer than has been before. He's going to handle him pretty well. I think this is a short yardage situation. I would like our guys to get a little more dirty. I hate when we're the only, there's a bunch of Browns on the ground and like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys making the tackle. We only got one, our running back, and then plus Ted Karras. Let's see what happened with Karras here against Mason Graham. Graham just inside out. Yeah. All right, Fairchild does his job. Looks sturdy there on a short yardage situation. No gain for the Bengals. Is this when they bring in Flacco? Are we already there? Let's see. No, it's not. Okay. Oh, I think this is the 4th and 1 where they punt. I'd forgotten about it. That's why I was animated. Sorry. We're back. We're fine. 6-11 this year. Amarius Mims. He's got Mason Graham really wide out on his side there. We're really spread out wide for the Browns pass rush. Let's see him get out there and get on 91. He does. Simple. I mean, the pass rush, it stinks to get here and not think I've got more time and we don't have longer developing routes, right? To really attack this thing. All right, eyes on Fairchild. Handles it really well. Good help from Karras on the inside there. I want to go back one more time because it looked like at this point, no, he does a good job getting rebalanced. He maybe opens up and is off balance a little bit more here. If Karras was helping this way, this guy would have come in and got the pressure on Burrow. But that's why you have interior help, and that's why the smaller, less athletic guys are on the inside typically. Okay, eyes back on Mims. False start. Orlando Brown. He's moving that back foot, trying to get in position. I remember that one. All right, back on Mims. 91's wide out here. Let's see him get to him. Get a little chip help. I wondered why he was staying so tight inside, his hips inside. Chase Brown's coming up for that chip help. But just controls him. No stress. Fairchild versus 93. We got a stunt. Karras picks it up. Karras picks up Garrett here, right? And then Fairchild comes over and squeezes that as the ball goes to Andre Yosivash. One of his few catches on the year. I think he had the 5th most catches on the team. Noah Fant had more catches than Yoshi. Chase Brown, of course. All right, eyes on Mims. Man, he is not letting you inside of him at all. Like, good luck. They're giving chip help. So, like, yeah, I'm going to stay more inside than, really out here. But good luck trying to get through Mims on the inside. This is teach tape, man. It's clinical. He looks so good lately. It's such a positive. All right, Fairchild. We got a stunt in there. Picked up pretty well. He locks up Mason Graham there. Really well for Fairchild. There we go. We got a good one for Fairchild. Oh, yeah. Reset those arms. Get them underneath. Clamp them. Yes. Yes. Those are clamps. That's a good job. That's a very good job by Dylan Fairchild. All right, eyes on Mims. Releasing to the second level as we're giving Chase Brown the jet sweep. Yes! This is what we didn't get from Mims early in his career. Some killer plays. Some plays where it's like, dude, you're bigger, more athletic. You should be killing dudes. Let's see it here. Instant release to the second level. Get on 43, the linebacker, and ride him. And now, throw him down. Finish him. Love it. All right, Dylan Fairchild. He's also going to release, I believe. Yep, too late to get in front of 17. Let's see if we can get to anyone else. Backside anyone. Nope. We'll just feast our eyes on Amarius Mims and his carnage. That makes it worth it right there, huh? Mims, again, gets outside chip help. Handles that. Very easy job for him there. Let's watch Fairchild. Stunt again. Does a good job trying to help out Karras with one hand while reaching over and slowing down Garrett if he can. And the ball's out, and Jamar makes the guy miss. And picks up a big gain. 2 big gains in a row. Chase Brown, Jamar Chase. Feels like that was a lot of the season, right? Those two. All right, Mims again. Oh, there we go. We got an inside move against him. If it was a stunt, I don't think it was, but Mims does a really good job following this guy. Passing him to Reisner. Reisner picks it up. They both come back and help out. Graham's trying to go through Karras. All right, let's watch Fairchild here, number 63. So he sets wide. So as you see, right, he's to this side. The inside path would be there. The path to the QB would be there. Let's see if 93 can get the rip and get to it. And Fairchild actually readjusts his arm really well here because the rip's trying to lift that arm out of there. Now watch Fairchild bring it around, get it replaced. Yeah, you've got him locked up. Again, clamps. His hands are strong. I think we saw that from the very first preseason game when we watched Fairchild. Very strong hands. Former wrestler, right? All that stuff. All right, eyes on Mims. Doesn't really get into his kick slide. There's a lot of different, I don't know if you guys know this. There's a lot of different ways to protect, right? Guys go this way, this way, this way, this way. Here, he's more sitting and waiting for the DN to come to him. Instant contact. He is so strong. It's crazy how strong he is. I'm enjoying watching him. This is what it looks like. This is like when I was a kid watching. I used to just watch Willie Anderson because there wasn't a lot on the team sometimes. And I would just watch him because he was so dominant. This is what it looked like. This is like, it was hard to go through him. He was athletic. His hands were super strong. It was crazy. He could like be off balance, retorque his body, sit his butt down, get his hand. I mean, it was just everything they did looked good. And this is what it looks like. That's why I'm excited to watch it. And I don't really have any critiques. Like if this is what we're getting for the next 5 to 10 years, I'm in. He looks great. I'm really going to be pushing the Mims Pro Bowl narrative next year, man, if this is what he looks like. All right, eyes on Fairchild. He's getting help from Karras. Again, we're watching Fairchild readjust his hands while trying to readjust his body and anchor. Little off balance there. It's tough. Karras kind of knocks him off a little bit, but do just enough to hold on to that rep. I feel like guard at especially interior offensive line, you are just more trying to survive as you're slowly trying to re-anchor your body. Here's the Flacco sneak. We get anything from Mims? Wait, we got Mims getting lower than his man, which is not easy. On 99, yeah. All right, how about Fairchild then? This one's going to be much more important for Fairchild on the inside here. And I don't think he gets anyone. First down. One thing about QB sneaks is you don't have to be perfect to execute it and get it done to be successful. Like a lot of these runs, it requires all 5 guys, or sometimes, at least the 3 on the front side plus the tight end. All right, eyes on Mims. Nothing for him there. He's just protecting the inside. You know what I'm saying? We're protecting to make sure 43, because 43 is hanging out here because we must have some pass action going that way. So Mims just trying to make sure that guy isn't coming down to blow this up. So nothing for him. Eyes on Fairchild. Can he get out in front of... Okay. So actually, we end up passing this off to Karras. Now go get the linebacker. Can you get that linebacker and take care of him? A little bit of contact with him. Not full control. You would like Fairchild to be a little more in control here. He gets knocked off by Karras a little bit. You see him off balance. Doesn't really get front side of that linebacker, which allows this linebacker to get to this play. But, I mean, Chase Brown does a really good job here to pick up 8. To outrun. If you weren't that fast, you're now outrunning that guy, right? Like Joe Mixon doesn't outrun that. Samaje Perine doesn't outrun that. They might run through that guy, but some plays it requires some speed. All right, we got 2 guys out here for Mims to actually pay attention this time. Looks like one guy maybe stunting him while he's got Delpit. Let's see if he can run with Delpit. Hell yeah. So, like, this is a chance to say, like, this is an athletic right tackle. Obviously, the power, he's going to handle Delpit. But to even get out there in time. Yep. All right, eyes on Fairchild, number 63. Completely in a pass stance. We try the cross chop, looks like, from 93. So Fairchild almost got that arm knocked down. Clamped. Again, you see the strong arms, what that looks like. Man. Good catch. I didn't realize how far behind this was. Although Yoshi, I'm going to be honest with you guys, when I watch film, I know I can rag on Yoshi at times. But I think another team's going to like sign him in a year when he's a free agent and throw him the ball. They're just going to throw him the ball because they're going to see on film he was open so much, but the Bengals have T and Jamar. What he does with those targets, we'll see. We'll find out how good he can be. But we'll definitely never know here. He just runs clear out routes so often. All right, eyes on Mims. Okay, a little bit of stress there for the first time for him. I could see that inside hand get... No, I was wrong. That was 91's hand. That is... I mean, you see the knees buckle for 91. Watch this again here. Right there. As he's off balance, like he's in a fight. And that's like your time of when you ever been in a fight and you're like, oh, this dude is super strong. That's what it looks like when 91 right there realizes it. All right, Fairchild. We got a stunt potentially, trying to pass it off. It ain't happening. Garrett's just like, I can win to the outside. And the ball is incomplete to Yoshi. There's Yoshi getting a target right after I said something, and I think Burrow went and talked to him about what he wanted from him. All right, eyes on Mims. Easy block. The fade is up. This ball is up very, very quickly as we've got potential pressure coming from the middle here. Burrow with a free rusher in his face. I mean, come on, man. What a throw. What a throw. Bang. What a catch by T. Higgins. I love football. I'm sad this is it. This is the second extra point. I mean, the difference between picking 10 and 11, right? We could have got 11th pick had they made these kicks, maybe. All right, eyes on Mims, blocking insides, getting like Mason Graham. Chase Brown definitely had to bounce that outside. Wonder what happened. Noah Fant really couldn't get that block on 91. I mean, you got to make something happen sometimes. Fairchild, anything for you? Not really. Climbing the second level, get to 43. You did your job. Okay. Next play here. This has got to be the second half, right? It's going to be a long film review. Amarius Mims. Rotation for the Browns here. Maybe not the best hand placement. Let's see again. Hands are a little wide and high, but you know what? He's such a large human to run around. I don't think 91 has that athleticism to really make him pay for that. Fairchild now. Gives up the outside, or gives up the inside, I should say. Attacks that outside there. Yeah. Single hand down the middle of the chest of the D lineman, right there. A little high also. That's how you lose that one. So, bad punch. You don't want to be right down the middle there with a single hand. You definitely don't want two hands right down the middle. I'll tell you what. Swat those down. So that's, Karras is coming over to help, so it is what it is. All right. I would say the way his stance is, let's guess. Let's guess based on the stance and where his eyes are. Run play? Yep. Oh, wait, a false start anyways. But that was definitely a run play, right? Let's see if we can guess this based on Mims. If maybe that's the critique we go with Mims from now on. It's like, hey, bro, this got to be a pass. How far that foot's back? Got to be a pass. There's no one in the backfield to run it anyway, so let's see here. Jeez. Again. These guys are trying to set things up. He's like got tentacles. His arms look super long, don't they? Yeah, good luck. Good luck against him. All right, eyes on Fairchild. Does a job. Blocks it down. Check down to Drew Sample. We're going to see a few punts here, I think, right? Before the Bengals offense has their final drives at the end. All right, eyes back on Mims against 99. Looks like a pass based on a set, right? Let's take him inside. This is the funny play where... So Mims does his job again here. You want to go inside there? Fine. Fairchild. So Fairchild got moved just a little bit by 93. You see how 93 gives him a hesitation step inside. Fairchild goes with it. Gets a little off balance. Now he's wide. His arms shoot wide. And he does just enough to ride his guy outside. But really, ideally we want a better base there. Stay more functional. Because that's how he ends up opening the gate, I think, a little bit too quickly, is guys will cross him a little. Was that a quick snap here? Yeah, with just Jamar in the backfield, I see. Our guys all do their jobs here. Very sturdy. I'm surprised this gets thrown to Chase Brown like this. T's got to be thinking, come on, bro. Right? You see T up here? With 27 on him? Just not great vision from Burrow there. All right, eyes on Mims. Stance, not as drastic. I would still think pass. I don't know. He's looking out to the right. I would think pass. Delpit tries to dip under him this time. Delpit, like last time. Last time he made contact with me, my knees buckled. I didn't like that. This time I'm going to go underneath him. Yeah, okay. He keeps it going. All right, eyes on Fairchild. Easy one there. Ball comes out quickly, and there's Mims laying on top of Delpit. Here, let me help you out, little man. This is why I like football. This is fun to me. This is funny. This is entertaining to me to just zoom in on a player, especially when they're on the verge of greatness like Mims is. Holding his point there. Looks like potential zone run. A little weird turn for Burrow. I wonder if this is more inside zone that blocks like outside zone. Karras is... Either way, we're bending this all the way back inside there. We got a free linebacker. I don't know. Is Gesicki doing anything again? What is Fairchild doing here? Fairchild's got his guy on the outside. Yeah, Gesicki's supposed to, I assume, insert and get to the linebacker, whoever that may be at this spot. Let's see how quick Gesicki is on this one. No, he doesn't know what he's doing. That's why it's hard to have him out there sometimes. It's why he'll only probably catch 40 balls in this offense, because you just can't have him out there all the time. You can't run with him. That's why I still want a tight end number one. That's why I won't stop looking, because the advantages of getting one are huge. Eyes on Mims. He's going to take the D-tackle this time, and we got a free runner for the blitz. So when he got the D-tackle here instead of the end, you knew they had to be bringing pressure from this side of the field. Let's see what happens on that side. Eyes on Fairchild. His guy's going inside in an effort to get everyone to get three guys to block one here. Shout out Chase Brown. Let's go. Let's look at Chase Brown real quick here from the running back spot. He's going to take 43. 43 is quite okay, sacrificing his body. in an effort to have Delpit run free and get the sack. Burrow just never sees it. Who is that on? That's more on whoever calls the protection there, not seeing that guy can potentially blitz and setting it correctly. Okay, Mims is going to control the stunt here for 91, throw him inside. They're going to hit each other there, so Mims does his job. Fairchild against Graham. He's going to have inside help. Doesn't matter. We got a hook in the ladder. Didn't really work as well as some of these other teams have been doing it. But I like to see it. I think laterals can be huge. Maybe it's the video game former kid in me still speaking, but lateral it. Let's have fun. Jeez, Mims. Like this, it looks so easy to him. It looks so easy. Eyes on Fairchild. Good job for Fairchild as well here. Although 93 tries to bat this down. Power, gets his hand back underneath, now turns into, when he gets it in there, then got leverage and extension on it. Burrow changing something at the line here. What's going on? Now they're all re-talking. Maybe he said the play wrong at the snap. This is like a late snap, I want to say, right? In turn, yeah, that's right. They were all screwed up on this one. Something in the huddle messed up. I have too many moments of that, right? I don't know what Fairchild was trying to do. Let's watch Fairchild. Maybe it'll tell us. He's trying to pull. Gets tripped up from the backside. I don't know. Burrow takes off. Chase Brown with a nice block. Gets his guy to the ground. And they're all like, what the hell was that? All right, eyes on Mims. Got to be a pass with that set. Hands to the face. But you know what? It's so quick. I don't think they're ever really going to call it. Yeah, hands to the face is illegal either way. But when it's bang and then reset. So right in the camera there. You like that? When it's like that, I think they're fine. Chase Brown going out of his way to get a chip. I don't think we got to chip and help Mims. I think we got to help Orlando Brown with Myles Garrett over here. All right, eyes on Fairchild. Let's see if he can do anything. 98. Locks him out, hands him off to Karras. We check it down to Chase Brown. Good hit, 17. Way to take it, Chase Brown. Only a gain of 6. That looked like it was further. Okay. And again, what will we say from Mims? Mims looking forward. Feet more square. It's got to be a run play. Yep, he's got 93, and Drew Sample gets the edge. Let's see it. Or Sample climbs to... Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, we get a Drew Sample play. We don't get too many of him actually having a positive impact block. Let's see it. 99 to the outside. Climb up and go get Devin Bush. Just enough for Chase Brown to bounce out. Hey, good job, Chase Brown, too, right? So good job by Chase Brown reading this, seeing the edge there get collapsed, following his guys, and picking up 7 yards. Got to be a pass with the way he's set and looking outside, and it is. So this time, 57, I think that's Isaiah McGuire, right? Gets contact with Mims first, which hasn't happened too often in this game. It has no effect. The pass rusher tried long arm. It's ineffective. All right, on to Fairchild then. Fairchild's got someone directly over him. Let's see, is he passing this off to Karras? Checking inside, nothing. Okay. Keep it moving. I would say pass again based on Mims' feet. They're also trying to come back in this point in the game here, so most of these plays will be a pass. I wonder what this play is here, because Burrow looks left and then comes right. Let's watch Fairchild here. There he goes, has to pick up Garrett. Does a good job picking him up. Ball gets checked down to Yoshi for a few. Good job by Fairchild there. I mean, that's the toughest guy in the league to block. But if you can get your hands on him and wall him off, you've done your job. Eyes on Mims. Mims looking straight forward. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a run. And it is a run. And he's going to go up and get Bush. Can't get to him. That's tough because he's trying to protect because he doesn't know where the running back's going to run. Right? The running back could be right behind you. But once you see that guy take off, man, if he could have got to him and sealed him off, that could have been a big run. So probably some critiques for Mims in the second level blocking. Eyes on Fairchild and 9 against 93. No, he's pulling. So it's a trap on the backside. So we saw how well they blocked it earlier when it was Fairchild and Brown. Brown blocked it really well. We're going to see now Reisner and Mims. No, Reisner's got the outside guy. Karras is going to release this time. Karras and Mims releasing. Karras does his job. Gets on his guy very, very well here in the second level. Not so much for Yoshi, but he's blocking, the best he can for a receiver. Best he can. There are some really good blocking receivers in the league. All right. Leg back for Mims. I assume we're throwing the ball here. Smooth, simple, deep ball. Okay, let's see. Easy for Mims again. Let's see Fairchild. He's got 17 over him. That's going to go with power. Nothing. Fairchild sits on that. That's an easy one. You want a linebacker, has he step power? Feel free. I like that. I like Fairchild in power situations. Leg back again for Mims. He's got Mason Graham this time. Must have been a blitz from this side. And the check down happened. So let's see what Fairchild got, because it looks like the blitz came from this way. Does he get Devin Bush? He does. And he does a good job. Affects Devin Bush. I don't know if he ever saw that Bush was coming, though, like initially, until Bush was coming. I think Bush could have probably run right there. But they're trying to get it free for Garrett to get the free runner. So I get what Bush is doing. He's trying to get it free for Garrett. You got to do your job. And now we're going to get to the sack for the single season record. He just runs around him. I'll start with Mims. Nothing there. He's got the tight end help. Why is the tight end help and the running back over there? I don't know. And then here's Fairchild. Block inside. Pick up 93. Good job by Dylan Fairchild. Okay. Based on Mims' feet, I would say it's a pass. He's got the help on his side. Ball comes out pretty quickly. We'll go on to Fairchild now. Got 93. Good job again. Hand usage good. Sometimes you're going to be stretched out right here. You got to keep with your hips and your midsection. Nobody clipped that of me. Okay, next play here. Mims' feet aren't too wide this time. Could this be a run? No. Blocks Mason Graham inside. Burrow's going to roll to the right. Sprint right option type thing. Mims staying with it. He's going to deplete someone here. Let's keep our eyes on Mims. You see him right here when he goes, okay, it's Garrett coming across. Bam. Burrow's going to climb, and throw on the run. I don't know. I don't even know what that play call was. What was that? All right, eyes on Mims. Easy peasy for him again. Eyes on Fairchild. He's got 93. He's going to try and, again, widen him out and then come back inside. A little bit too much space leads to a little bit too much pressure on our quarterback there. These are little things for Fairchild. I think getting manipulated a little bit and how they're attacking you. They're trying to push you out one way and then bring you back the other. A little more lateral quickness for them. Let's see, Mims here. Yeah. He's so delicate, yet strong with his hands. Like, delicate in terms of, you see him go around right there, still hit the shoulders, and he's going to bring them back and be ready. See? And then he grabs the hands. Like, he's very accurate with his hands now. Bing, get back. All right, eyes on Fairchild. Helping out on the inside there. A lot of chaos. Everyone picks it up. Both guys get dumped to the ground on the inside. So good job, Bengals O-line. Eyes on Mims. Ooh, there we go. There's a lost rep. Hey, it took all day. We're there. Good spin move, man. This is the teaching of a spin move opportunity. Attack this arm, and when you come back with this arm, this is the one that's going to wall off the rusher from getting back to you. See it? Stabilize you, get you back where you need to be. Good job by picking it up by Reisner. Reisner picking it up, man. Really good. As Mason Graham goes outside. All right, eyes on Fairchild. He's got 93 again. Going to pick up the stunt. No, it balls out and caught. Super early throw by Joe. Let's see. I wanted to see this. When did Joe throw this thing? Sees the pressure coming into his face right now. We're going to have to go and check this on the other angle. But on TV copy, Jamar's running his route, looks up, and it's right in his face, and he just plucks it as quickly as he can. All right, eyes on Mims. Got to be a pass play with his feet. Gets the chip help. I mean, what are we trying to run here that is quickly going to a... Is this supposed to be a screen? Let's watch the interior, guys. No. Bro just does not like what he got. Eyes on Fairchild. Gonna push him inside, get outside to get Graham. Not enough. Not quick enough laterally. So a little bit of lateral quickness will go a long way, I think, for Fairchild. Very strong hands, deliberate hands, good hands, I think, for a rookie. I thought we were going to get another loss from Mims here, right? Eyes dropped it a little bit, but his hands are just so strong. He just stuns 57 that there's no way to really... And the ball's out, too, very quickly. So let's watch Fairchild here. Looks like he gets 51 one-on-one. Let's see it. Ooh, spin move. Hey, we got a couple spin moves here. Spin moves are fun. They're executing them at a high level. Those are crisp spin moves. All right, eyes on Mims. He's got a bunch of guys on his side here. We got a stunt. Reisner picks it up with him. Good job that side, picking it all up. Let's watch Fairchild now. You got 51. Just pulled a spin move off you last time. Going with power this time. Does a good job holding that up. And the catch to Jamar, pickup of 21 down inside the 5-yard line. I think the Bengals are just going to score on this. We're getting to the final couple plays now. If they score on this one, I think so. Eyes on Mims for the last time today. Again. Jeez, man. This is what it looks like. And this time, he's not making contact with the chest. He's making contact with the hands and just controlling 91's right hand. Watch 91's right hand here. As he tries to swat, Mims has it locked like this. Watch him. He can't get it off of Mims. Now he's let it go. But the play is done. It's over, dude. All right, let's watch Fairchild versus 93. We were in this situation before earlier, and 90 was it 93 that batted it? All right, power. Fairchild gets his hands back inside, re-anchors. Really good re-anchor. 93 tried to bat it, and Jamar Chase gets the touchdown. Can we see Chase's route here? I want to show. Nah, we're not going to be able to get it. But yeah, both good blocks on that final play. Oh, we got the 2-pointer. Fun. Bonus. Mims versus 91. Oh, 91's going to go with the power. Speed to power. Get upfield. Yeah, good luck. Good luck, bro. Ain't happening. Fairchild this time. 93 looks like he's going upfield and is going to try and throw him outside and get in there. Yeah, again. So that is with Fairchild. You go one way and then the other. Even this time with power, you can open that gate up just a little bit too much. This is a bad throw by Burrow, to be honest. This would have kept the game going in overtime. You're wide open middle of the field. Maybe he can't step into it all the way because of Fairchild's pressure. But this ball has to be more here instead of here. I don't know where it really lands, but you'll see. Yeah, needs to be out a little bit more in front of Gesicki. Gesicki making play, but if you leave it behind, allows Delpit to get a hand on it. So that was a long film review, and I won't waste your time if you're still with me. Thank you. I had a good time watching Amarius Mims. Fairchild, give us a good update on where he is. Happy with his rookie year. I said before the season started, rookie years for guards. Shouldn't expect a ton. If they keep their head above water, you're in good shape. If they flash high-end ability, you're in great shape. And I think we're in great shape with Dylan Fairchild. With Mims, like that's the year two leap you look for a premium pick. It is nice to see. The development of some of these young guys is why, if there's a part of me that's okay with this coaching staff returning, I didn't feel that, go from 2021 to 2024, did we feel any sort of development on any of these players? Not really, at all. This year was some of the most development we've seen from the young players on this roster in a long time. That's going to carry, and should hopefully carry. What I mean is that's going to help you in 2026 and beyond. They've got to go after this. They've got all the resources to make this a competitive team. And I hope they do, because those guys look good on the offensive line. The two linebackers have taken steps. Barrett Carter looks better in coverage. Knight looks better against the run, understanding how to attack. They're using them in different ways. The corners look good and have developed. Murphy, even Shamar had a bunch of flash plays last week. Is it worth anything? Will we just revert to everything in September? Maybe. But this is better than not showing anything in December, which was the case for a lot of these guys, or maybe not specifically them, but a lot of our young draft picks. It's why we're on Duke Tobin's behind right now, right? Because they drafted so poorly. Well, these guys look good. So, yeah. I don't know what the offseason is going to bring. I mean, if you've been with me on the First Star Media YouTube page and with me as I've done Bengals on the Brain for about 5 years now, we're going to watch prospects. We're going to talk about cap and cash and free agency and mock drafts and everything that pertains to the Bengals. And that's all on the docket, and we're in the offseason now. It is now our time to shine. If you're in this group with me that likes to do this stuff, we're here. It's there. And I can't wait to dive in. I've still got a couple more players I think we want to focus on. Let's do a Jordan Battle episode, because we haven't really checked on him. Should he just be a starter next year? Or should you be trying to upgrade that position as well? We'll go over everything first before we really dive in. Thanks for sticking with me through the 2025 season. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate First Star from putting this on. I can't do it without them, because, it takes time, takes effort, takes resources, and they provide that, and provide it in a way that I've never had. So I am appreciative of that, and appreciative of all of you guys sticking with me, watching, despite the Bengals making it very, very hard on us to do so and have a good time doing it. Hopefully you had a fun time with me at the very least, and I have with you. So let's dive into the offseason. I am ready. Until next time, Hoo day.